Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston, Texas. Roof is closed, unfortunately, because it's another nice day outside, but I guess you get the temperature over 80 degrees, and down here they say, oh, no, too warm, let's close the lid. Tell you who's warm right now, Jose Altuve. He is leading the free world in just about every meaningful statistical offensive category, and with more on that, let's go to Andre Knott.
Well, guys, we've talked so much about the importance of a leadoff hitter, and for the Indians yesterday, it worked out well with Jose Altuve. He struck out in the first inning, but right now, currently, he's hitting .467 with 6 home runs and 11 runs scored as a leadoff hitter. All those numbers lead Major League Baseball. We know Trevor Bauer's had struggles early with the home run ball. He has to keep Altuve off the base path early on to get a win.
Yeah, I think Altuve, the best leadoff hitter in the game, no question about it. He can do it a lot of different ways.
Well, he leads all leadoff hitters in runs batted in. So all those solo homers are one thing, but he's driving guys in when he gets RBI opportunities as well. Let's take a look at the Indians starting lineup tonight for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive. Rajay Davis leading it off. Then it's Jason Kipnis. Francisco Lindor had his streak snapped last night. He had reached base safely in 10 straight games before an 0 for 4 in the series opener. Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, Jose Ramirez occupy the middle third. Then it's Juan Uribe, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Chris Jimenez gets the start behind the plate tonight, batting 9th.
And our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher is going to be the rookie, Chris Davinsky, for the Astros, making his 3rd start. He started in the bullpen this year. He's coming off a start against the Seattle Mariners. He pitched very well, 6 innings, 6 hits, and gave up just 1 run. But he ended up taking a loss in that ball game. But I'll tell you, this kid is a changeup specialist. He throws it about 33% of the time. He's a fastball changeup. He will mix in an occasional breaking ball. First time he has ever faced the Indians, and you don't know how long he's going to be in this rotation. But right now, he's getting his spot start.
All right, we're ready for action now as Rajay Davis stands in to get us underway. And the pitch from Davinsky down low, ball 1. Two and 0.
See how he works from that first base side of the rubber, and he actually falls off to the first base side.
And there's a called strike. First one of the night.
See where he steps. That stride is, you know, it's almost towards the left-handed batter's box.
High pop. A roof scraper. Altuve settles under it. The second baseman makes the catch. 1 away.
Let's check the Astros defense tonight. It'll be Rasmus in left field, Gomez in center, Springer back in right field. Valbuena at third, Correa at short, Altuve is at second. White gets the start tonight at first. Kratz is doing the catching.
Dan Isanya has the plate. Crew chief Dale Scott down at first. Bob Davidson at second base. Lance Barrett will be at third. Jason Kipnis stands in. Kipnis 0 for 3 last night, did pick up a run batted in. And a fastball right at the bottom of the zone for strike 1.
Call timeout in the outfield. Something.
The door's open from the bullpen.
I got you.
So the center fielder Gomez is going out to close the door. He's the doorman in addition to being the center fielder.
Well, you got to go from alley to alley when you play out there. So that's the responsibility. Make sure the door is shut.
Kipnis swings over the top of a good off-speed pitch. And the count is 0-2.
Well, yeah, he doesn't throw a lot, and that looked like a curveball to me. I'd say about 80 to 85% of his pitches will be fastball, changeup. There's the changeup.
And a liner to left center for Jason Kipnis. And the Indians have a 1-out base runner in the first.
Take a look at it. He went down and in with the breaking ball. Then he tries to throw that changeup down and away. Kipnis did a nice job of staying on the baseball. See how that upper body just went out to get the baseball, stayed right on it, served it to left field, gets a base hit.
Well, we'll bring up Francisco Lindor. Lindor, since arriving in the big leagues a year ago, has been very cooperative when it comes to media requests, interviews. But you can sense a little unease, a little uncomfortable feeling from him with all the attention that he's getting in this series because of Carlos Correa on the other side, who won the Rookie of the Year award, and Lindor finishing runner-up a season ago. He has great respect for Correa, admires him. I think there's a mutual admiration among the two of them. But I think Lindor just kind of feels like the focus shouldn't be on us. It should be on the game, the team.
Yeah. Well, you know, they make it bigger than sometimes what it is. But it is something special to see two of the top young players in the game that play the same position. They're from the same country, Puerto Rico. It's, you know, I can see the interest in it. These guys are going to be around a long time.
Well, that was the cool thing. And Frankie said, look, regardless of who won it last year, I knew one thing. It was going to be somebody from Puerto Rico,
right,
which was a great honor for both of them and their fellow countrymen.
Well, I'm sure that Francisco would love to have a good series here to show these people in Houston that he deserves it too.
They're over, and Kipnis back with the dive. Andre was telling me before the game, the interest was so great in the two of them that last night's game was shown in Puerto Rico just because it was Lindor and Correa going head to head. That's pretty neat.
Yes, it is.
Popped out of play. Lindor really good at bat here.
Well, you see that changeup, even the pitch that Kipnis hit, when he throws and falls off to that right or the first base side, he tries to go with that thing down and away. Lindor fouled that pitch off on it. It was a pretty good pitch. Now breaking ball.
Well, Frankie had reached in 10 straight games before last night, going 0 for 4. Whether it was by a hit or getting a walk, hit by pitch, whatever the case may be, he was on a pretty good roll offensively. And everybody gets stymied once in a while. And last night, Mike Fiers was he was pretty good. And sometimes it's hard to admit, and sometimes it is hard to tip the old cap to the other guy, but you do have to remember that the other guys are trying too, and Fiers was pretty good with his location last night.
He was outstanding. He changeup, curveball, fastball, and occasional cutter.
Kipnis got a tremendous jump, but Lindor with 2 strikes protecting had to pull it foul.
You know, watch how he falls to the first base side. I mean, I mean, his step it's like
he falls out of the screen.
It's like 10 o'clock. And a lot of times you try to drive straight through to your target at home plate. You know, when guys walk out for their stride, they'll draw a little line where their foot ends, but he is violent in there.
I don't know how he can command the baseball when you're falling that.
It's hard. I would think it would be hard. He throws about 92, and I mentioned about 35% of his pitches are changeups. Occasional curveball. He came out of the bullpen. This is his 3rd start. And you think they have one of their starters from last year, Lance McCullers, who threw on the side today. And if he is ready to go, by tomorrow, he'll probably go in and pitch on Friday when they go to Boston, and he's going to get back into the rotation. So I would think Davinsky would go back to the bullpen.
Look out! Above the Astros dugout into the crowd, Lindor lost the handle. Hope everybody's okay over there.
Well, I didn't even see it.
I'll bet some of those people were really gasping as that bat came hurtling toward them. Luckily, I think it caught an empty seat.
That's a good thing. Well, he's looking at his forearm right there. Look, that got me.
He got a little pine tar.
He's got a Francisco Lindor autographed forearm. Here it comes. I mean, holy smokes, that ball or bat takes off, and it ricocheted off a seat and went up and got that young man.
Says he's okay. He wants to continue. He will not be taken out of the game. Anytime Lindor got a new bat, he's going to let that one stay with the fan, I do believe.
Well, let's see if this one has a hit in it.
Well, it's the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Runner goes. And Lindor pops that out of play. What is it, about 6-7 foul balls during the at-bat? So he's fouled 7 off. The only 3 that he didn't foul off were called balls. So
yeah.
I mean, he's been right on him.
Kipnis has tried to steal a couple times in the at-bat, to be denied.
Another foul back.
Well, he's seen everything this kid has.
You talk about making a guy work. He's working him over here.
Would not be surprised to see Kipnis off and running again.
Not running that time, and a foul again. This is unbelievable.
Well, it's unbelievable that's why you want to start him, because he can't throw it by him. Lindor's had such a good at bat, and on the full count, I think he'd be off and running, because he hasn't been able to get him to swing and miss yet. And this has been about a 5 or 6 minute at bat.
There he goes. Good jump again, but that's fouled off too. This is just incredible.
Look at Kipnis at second. Can you put one in play, please? He's getting his wind sprints in. Look at him. He is
a 13-pitch at bat, and Lindor has fouled off 10 pitches.
Incredible.
Look at Lindor saying, "Come on, get back there so I can keep
He's
hitting."
taking his time because he's going to have to go again.
Good thing these are professional athletes in tip-top shape. Kip not running, and Lindor pops this one back into the crowd. I wonder what Correa's thinking out there at shortstop right now.
I wonder what Davinsky's thinking. He can't get him out. He can't get one by him, and he's continuing to throw strikes. What an at bat.
Here we go again. Kipnis not running, and a hammer shot right into the glove of first. Double play ends the inning. After all that, Davinsky gets a shot right at his first baseman. Inning over. A.J. Hinch is starting lineup for Houston. Jose Altuve leading it off. George Springer will bat second. Carlos Correa third. Then it's Colby Rasmus, Preston Tucker, a couple left-handed bats. Tyler White will be at first base batting sixth. Then it's Carlos Gomez, Luis Valbuena, and Eric Kratz behind the dish batting ninth.
And Trevor Bauer's our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher. And Bauer is 2-0 this year, 5-14. He's pitched awfully well against the Houston Astros. He's pitched one game here. That was last April. 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, 5 walks, no hits.
Jose Altuve 1 for 4 last night with a double. He drove in 3 runs in the ballgame. A double drove in a couple. He had a sac fly later that added another run. Since the start of 2014, Jose Altuve leads all of Major League Baseball in hits, doubles, and batting average. Bauer pours a strike in there, 3-1.
Well, this is certainly not a guy you want to walk because he can certainly steal a base. He's stolen 13 out of 14.
Look out, man, that was a screamer into the lower seats there. Nice grab, or at least he got the ball. I don't know if he caught it, but
if he
came up with it.
He'd be shaking his hands.
The 3-2 had him reaching for it.
Breaking ball.
And Kipnis throws him out 1 away.
Nice comeback by Bauer. Let's set the Indians defense behind Bauer tonight. It looks like this. Ramirez is in left field. Davis is in center, Chisenhall in right, Uribe at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis at second, Napoli at first, and Jimenez catching him again. That defense brought to you by Jeep.
George Springer. And Bauer shoots it over the outside corner for a strike. That one up and in, almost clipped him.
The Astros been playing better. They've won 5 of the last 7, 6 of the last 9. They got off to the horrendous start.
Big curveball missed there.
We talked a little bit about it last night. It's because the pitching has not been as good as it was last year.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about the 2 guys coming out of the chute like Keuchel,
Colin McHugh a year ago,
right.
Those 2 were lethal.
First month of the season, they were very, very good.
Bauer, after throwing a first pitch strike to Springer, has missed on 3 straight. I mean, his fastball is good enough. I just threw it right by him in a fastball count where he's looking for it. And the 3-2 up and in. That almost stayed fair, but it just foul in front of the bag.
It was fair up until the last top, so it must have had some spin on it from that check swing.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to stay fair. Watch the last bounce. It really sends Napoli. It hit right on the fair side of the line, and it goes 3 or 4 feet foul. So the spin off the bat really took that baseball the other way.
And that one sails high, ball 4. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Early energy. When the Indians score first, they are 13-4 on the year. And for Bauer, keep the ball down. The key for Bauer tonight, hold the Astros to 4 runs or less. We always talk about that 4-run being a magic mark. When they score 4 or less, they've lost 16 out of 18. For Trevor Bauer, he's got Carlos Correa at the plate. One ball, one strike. Springer is maybe the best example of the Astros running mentality. He has stolen 2 bases, but he's been caught 4 times. That's not a real good percentage, obviously.
No.
But his manager's probably telling him, keep running. There he goes. Jimenez with a throw down, and they got him! Oh, baby! Chris Jimenez with a throw down, and Kipnis, it looked like he got him as he was sliding by before he got to the bag. That's the call by Bob Davidson. We'll see if Houston wants to challenge. They're looking back into the dugout, but it appears he got him.
Yeah, he got him right around the knee as he's going in head first. He's sliding to the outside part of the base. Now, from that angle, it's going to look like his hand is at the base, but I don't think it was. They are not going to challenge. So, nice throw by Jimenez. Get the second out of the inning. Caught stealing, so now he's 2 and 5.
Yeah, but that's their nature. That's kind of who they are. They lead the majors in stolen bases.
Yes, they are. You're not going to. They're going to continue to try.
Hammered down the line, but slicing foul.
Boy, he picked on a fastball and he drove it that way. He knew he had the distance, but that thing sliced foul at the end.
3-2 pitch. Struck him out with a high heater. And a good first inning for Trevor Bauer and the Indians. And after 1, we are scoreless in Houston.
Is live with MLB.com at-bat app. Stay connected all season with radio broadcast, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Mike Napoli leads off the 2nd inning and takes a strike. Napoli 0 for 3 last night in the series opener with a walk. And he wheels away at a big curveball. 0-2. Davinsky, one of 3 players the Astros got from the White Sox in the Brett Myers trade at the deadline back in 2012. Out of play. He was the proverbial pitcher, a player to be named later.
Oh, baby.
Oh, Napoli just punched it right up the gut.
Well, you see, he took something off that swing just to make contact and put it in play, and he gets a base hit. He slowed that swing down. He was fooled, but watch how he just stayed back enough and kept the hands back on that breaking ball. He swung and missed at it earlier in the at-bat, but that's what you do. 2 strikes, you protect, got a base hit. Second hit for the Indians.
Carlos Santana had a hit last night in 4 trips. Santana was leading off last night. Back down in the 5-hole this evening. That's down low. Looked like he was taking all the way. It's 3-1. Jose Ramirez to follow here in the 2nd inning. No score.
Changeup, 3-1 changeup. Going to come back with another fastball. And Santana just spits on it. Lives for another pitch.
Hit hard but foul.
Well, it looks like he likes to throw that changeup to the left-handed hitters. And he throws that curveball a few more times to the right-handed hitters. Lefties hitting 216 off him, while righties are at 282.
Inside, ball 4. The Indians had their first 2 aboard in the 2nd inning. Our great clip of the game from last night, Jose Ramirez. Indians didn't have many hits. This was a key hit early, and then the helmet comes off. He kicks it up in the air and lands it on his backside.
That thing it stayed up there for a while.
Jose Ramirez with 7 doubles on the year. They pinch in. He does bunt. Gets it down. And the pitcher has to hurry and just does throw him out. Altuve had a little snow cone deal where that ball was starting to pop loose, but he held on.
Yeah, if his foot was on the base, I think they'll look at that. But I'll tell you what, that was a nice job by Ramirez. Spins, and now he's getting down the line. Now let's see if Altuve's foot is on the base when he catches the ball. Goes up the line, and yes, it was. Yes, it was. Good sacrifice. Now the Indians with an opportunity to take the lead.
Juan Uribe will try to drive him home. Uribe, the Indians' third baseman, with a homer, 4 runs batted in, 3 doubles so far this year. Did he go? He did not. 1 ball, 1 strike. Smash right off the glove of the pitcher, who comes over to throw. Safe is the call as Napoli scores just ahead of the tag of Kratz. Davinsky did a terrific job to react after that ball nearly took him in half. But his throw just a tick too late, and the Indians take a 1-0 lead.
You know, he could have went to first base to get the out. Napoli did a beautiful job. He didn't stop running. He got a very good jump going on contact, and he beats the throw to home plate. So I like that. That ball got away from him enough on the fielder's choice. You see, he gets the hand to the plate by the time the tag's applied at the waist. And the Indians are on the board, 1-0. That was close.
So Uribe picks up his 5th run batted in on the year. And now the Indians have runners at the corners with still only 1 out. And now Lonnie Chisenhall fouls it out of play. Now it's really imperative for Lonnie to get a pitch elevated. He can get to the outfield, get that run home from third.
Absolutely. They have 3 guys. They're shifting on him on the right side of the infield.
Hammered to right down the line. That'll go to the wall. Scoring is Santana. Uribe on his way to third. He'll be held there. It's an RBI double for Lonnie Chisenhall and a 2-0 Indians lead.
Yeah, he drove that ball down the right field line. Hit it well. Looked like it was a fastball. Yellowwood bringing the lumber as Chisenhall is going to smoke one into the right field corner. It's his 2nd double of the year. Drives in a run and also sets this inning up where you can add on again. At 2nd and 3rd, and still just the 1 out.
Well, Chris Jimenez will have an opportunity here with runners at 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out. And a first pitch strike. Off speed. It might have been a changeup.
Yes, it was. He likes to throw it.
Jimenez homered in his first game that he started with the Indians. Off-speed pitch. So change-up curveball the first 2. And it's 0-2.
Well, now he has to go for the punch-out. He's got to try and minimize the damage so that the Indians have an opportunity to put up a big inning. This is how it went so well back home on that last homestand. They had some crooked numbers on the board, and they did it early.
A little bit low. Tough pitch to lay off, and good eye by Jimenez.
When you're down 0-2, that is a tough pitch to lay off, especially with a runner in scoring position. Sometimes hitters get a little over anxious. They get themselves out. That was a good take.
Got him with a big hook. 2 down.
And went for the strikeout. Got it. His first strikeout of the night.
Rajai Davis popped up on the infield his only time up. Looking for the big 2-out RBI hit. And a chopper to short. Crazy hop. Correa stayed with it and threw him out. Wow, nice play by Correa. That ball took a wild hop on him. But he's big, he's rangy, and he was able to stay with it to end the inning. The Indians, however, score 2 and take the early lead. Hops, there are room service bounces, and then there are the ones that you don't expect, like this.
Boom. Well, that thing just took off, didn't it? He stayed with it. That's concentration. He's coming in thinking he's got to do it, and the next thing you know, he's got to make a wild stab to get it. Don't know what that hit in the grass.
Or if it was just the spin off the bat, maybe?
Well, I don't know.
Colby Erasmus. Arcia in the driver's seat. Right up there among the league leaders. That hit the bag. And Napoli stays with it. And there's one out in the second inning. Holding the chalk.
Yes, it was. And they had a blade right there as well.
Well, that'll bring up Preston Tucker. The Astros DH 1 for 4 last night with a double and a run scored.
First 2 innings, Bauer has certainly tried to pitch inside to, seems like, every hitter.
That's called, it should have been a called strike. And on the appeal, they said he went too far on the check swing. A pretty good pitch to begin with.
Let's take a look at it. It might be a little high, but you're right. It had plenty of plate.
Fly ball left field. Jose Ramirez makes the catch, and there are 2 down. Tyler White to the plate. And our Buick stat of the game shows you that White started the season a house on fire. 10 out of 15 with 3 homers, 9 driven in. Since then, a .171 average, couple of dingers, 6 RBI.
Yeah. When you start out that hot, you know you can't maintain it.
But his emergence, I think, is part of the reason why the Astros decided to send Evan Gattis down to the minor leagues to kind of hone his catching skills, because they feel like if they can get both of those bats in the lineup at the same time, that gives them more thump, obviously.
Well, this guy reminds me of Evan Gattis, the way he swings the bat. You know, he's sort of a wide-bodied guy that he's got the open stance. He swings hard. He has always hit his way through the minor leagues, and you know, they like the way he's swung the bat down there, so he's getting the opportunity. And Gattis was down there in Double-A, caught a ball game yesterday, hit 4th in the lineup on his way back to try and become a catcher.
And Trevor walks him on 4 straight. Certainly not what he wanted to do with 2 down. And that'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Gomez went 1 for 3 last night with a walk and a run batted in. his swing and fouled it over toward the Astros dugout. And it's 1-1.
We saw a couple of times last night where guys in the on-deck circle came awfully close to getting hit with pitches. This was just a deflect that went by Valbuena over there and hit the screen.
Well, Gomez is a guy, you can tell by his stance, you know, he's not on top of the plate, but he crowds it pretty good, and then that stride is right in to the dish. So anything that's on the inside part of the plate is going to straighten him up.
Well, he couldn't catch up to the heater last night a couple of times. You get it in there, and it's going to be tough for him to hit, to handle.
He's out looking. That'll end the inning. Second strikeout for Trevor Bauer. He's walked 2, struck out 2. And after 2, it's the Indians 2. And the Astros nothing. Indians as we go to the 3rd inning. Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, Mike Napoli due up for Cleveland. Kipnis singled in the 1st inning. You know, I was just thinking, Rick, back to 2004, I believe it was, when Jason Davis was with the Indians. And he was a guy that would really fall off the mound on the first base side when he pitched. But I don't know if I've seen anybody do it more effectively than what we've seen so far from Davinsky.
Well, the first at-bat for Francisco, what an at-bat it was, an epic at-bat. 13 pitches? 15. And a number of foul balls. I mean, he just continued to foul them off. Kipnis was trying to steal a few times in the at-bat. Ended up hitting one right on the nose, right into the glove of White for the double play to end the inning. But man, he had some kind of at-bat.
They tell me Lindor's 15-pitch at-bat included 11 foul balls, 5 throws to first base, a lost bat, and yet through it all, not a single drop of beer or soda was spilled, not a single kernel of popcorn lost. 2 down here in the 3rd. Mike Napoli singled and came around to score on a heads-up play in the second inning. He darted home from third base, and his head-first slide just barely avoided the tag of Eric Kratz to get the Indians on the board first.
He got the good jump off of third base going on contact, and that ball got away from Davinsky just enough for him to score.
High fly ball center field where Gomez barely had to move. Indians go quickly here in the third. 2-0 Tribe. To enjoy a cold one tonight, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. For Houston here in the bottom of the third, it will be Luis Valbuena, Eric Kratz, and then top of the order Jose Altuve. Valbuena 2 for 4 last night with a double, and he scored 2 runs.
Well, he was the one that had the third inning going, leading off in that third. Got a base hit to start to right field, low fastball. It's the bottom part of that lineup that started that 5-run third.
Well, Valbuena got off to a horrendously poor start this year, but you'll wonder that home run he hit the other night, his first of the year in the 9th, that tied the game against Seattle. Might have been something that could have gotten him jump started.
You know, you always hope so. You know, it's always one at bat or one game or something that gets him going. When you're the manager of a guy that's struggling and you know he's going to put up some numbers for you, you certainly hope. He's a guy that had a big year last year as far as a home run ball, but never been a high average guy.
No. More balls than strikes from Bauer, but he's getting the job done so far. Only 2 base runners. Center field, and there's a ton of room out there. Davis makes the grab, 1 away. One of the hardest things for a manager to do is sometimes find room for your backup catcher. He's kind of a forgotten man, you know, because when you start pinch hitting and substituting, he's the guy that never gets into a game because, well, he's the backup catcher, so you can't pinch hit him or you'll lose your backup catcher. But Terry Francona is trying to find ways to get Chris Jimenez into the lineup, and Andre, it almost seems like it's a, could he be the personal catcher now for Bauer?
Words that are being used, but yes, you could kind of say that. He's been here less than a week and he's already had to catch Trevor Bauer twice. Here's our hero side of the game and how he prepares to catch Trevor Bauer.
You got to try to simplify it as much as possible. I mean, and as much as humanly possible for him. Because when you got a guy like him, you know, he's going to throw what he wants to throw, but you know, the more you can kind of talk him into easing into that, I think the better off he's going to be. I've had a little experience with it. I've had a chance to catch Darvish the last couple of years. And, you know, they're very similar pitchers stuff-wise. You know, the mentality on the mound, it's all very similar.
This just missed outside. 96-mile-an-hour fastball to Eric Kratz.
Bauer walked away like he thought he had a strike. See him turn around and look.
Well, I mean, it's right there.
Let's see. Yeah, he says that's a strike. Look at him. He's walking away. He's waiting for him to throw the ball around the infield. And now you can do
just
it.
Waved at a wicked curveball, and Bauer just shakes his head as if to say, really?
This will be our Circle K strikeout. A curveball coming in. His third strikeout the first time through the lineup. So far, Houston, they're 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts that first time through.
Houston is 0 for Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, they are.
Here at Minute Maid Park. Jose Altuve. That was a terrific at bat. His first time up. Looked like he had the upper hand. And now he breaks his bat and bloops one in. First hit of the ball game on a broken bat blooper.
And you see, that's what good hitters do. You make a good pitch, and Bauer did. And you know, a guy like this fights it off, flares it the other way. This guy's going to get his share of hits from hitting him hard. When the soft ones start falling, look out. He gets it down on the trademark. He just muscles it off and hits it into right field and gets the first hit that Bauer's ever given up in this building in 8 2/3 innings.
Well, George Springer walked his first time up. And that was a pretty good at bat. Broke his bat. And a routine bouncer ends the inning. 3 complete from Minute Maid Park in Houston. It's the Indians 2, the Astros 0. Two 2-0 Cleveland on top, 4th inning. Carlos Santana, Jose Ramirez, Juan Uribe for the Indians. Santana walked, came around to score in the 2nd inning.
Santana's been bouncing around a little bit in that lineup, going from 1st to 5th. change up there.
And he strikes him out. Second strikeout for Davinsky. One down on the 4. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. And the Western Division, the Angels, the hits just keep on coming. Andrelton Simmons will miss a couple of months. It seems like every day something's going wrong for the LA Angels.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
They lost 3 in a row heading into play today. Jose Ramirez fooled by the change of pace. Rick, is there any, I mean, can you pick up anything watching this game as it develops? Is it tough on the hitter with the way he falls off the mound, the way the angle of the ball comes in?
Well, it doesn't seem to be bothering. They're getting good swings. His changeup is bothering. I think he's going to have to pitch inside to the left-handers. And it looked like he did. He made his pitch to Carlos Santana because Carlos didn't have a very good swing on the fastball end. Here comes a curveball that, you know, he'll throw it to the left-handers. I think he wanted to bounce that ball. That's really a pretty good job of hitting there by Ramirez to take that base hit right back up the middle. They get their 4th hit.
Oh, the runner goes, pitch out, throw down, and they got him.
I think he came off the bat. I'll tell you what, it looked like he might have got the arm in there first. I don't know if he slid off the bag. I did see Bob Davidson look at the back end and say, no, you're out. Let's see if his foot came off the bag at the end or he goes down head first. No, that tag.
That's where he
there
got
it
him.
is. You know what? He would have been safe if he stayed on the bag. He slid a little too late because his momentum carried him right over the base.
So Ramirez caught for the 2nd time this year. And there are 2 down in the inning now. A little bit low. Waves at it. It seems like, and maybe I'm crazy, but it seems like we're seeing more guys slide past bags nowadays. Is that because they don't slide directly into the bag or trying to go for the outside corner?
Sometimes they slide too late. That's your momentum's going to carry you. You don't realize how fast you're going. You know, and when you get down, especially when you're trying to steal a base, sometimes you want to go in there late. But if you go in there late, go feet first and pop up.
Foul at the third base side.
If you don't do it a lot, and that's one thing you don't practice. You don't practice sliding head first or where to slide. You know, you got to take time to go out there early and practice a slide here or there.
I think he kind of hurt himself too.
He may have.
You know, he looked like he got up kind of holding that hand. I don't know if it's the left hand or the right hand, but we'll keep an eye on it. coverage of baseball. Jackie Bradley Jr. last night 3 for 5 with a grand slam, drove in 6, and he has hit in 15 in a row, and the Red Sox are rolling again tonight. They are clobbering Oakland 11-4 after 6.
Look at that hitting streak. He's 3 triples, 4 doubles. I'll tell you, he's an exciting young player to watch.
Boston led 11-0 at one point. Travis Shaw homered in that game for Boston. Drive right at Davis in center field, and he makes the catch. 1 down. The Royals are trying to bounce back tonight against the Yankees. Lorenzo Cain has hit 2 home runs for KC, and Chesler Cuthbert has also gone deep.
That's your favorite name to say.
I like Chesler.
Yes, you do. I noticed over that weekend.
Rare as it is, Texas and White Sox in a rain delay down in Arlington. 2-1 Texas in the 3rd.
Yeah, the wild game last night. The White Sox gave it back in the 8th and the 9th, and they come back and win it in, what, the 12th?
Yeah, was it a grand slam they hit?
Yes. Todd Frazier hit one. Actually hit 2 in the game.
Cincinnati was rained out tonight at home against Pittsburgh. Rasmus wraps one to left center.
Nice job. Beautiful job by Rajay. Getting to that ball, getting it in quickly, and just threw a perfect strike to the base. As it looked like Rasmus wanted to come around first, and he was thinking too, but he gets to it. That's the key, getting to it. You circle it, all his momentum coming into the bag. Well done. Yeah, please come.
Here's Preston Tucker. Fly to left, his only time up.
And Ramirez is about 1 step from the warning track out there.
I noticed that too, just as I looked up to see where he was at.
You know, and for me, and I know he hasn't been playing left field that long, but that wall should be your friend out there. Use that, because if anything's over his head, he's not going to be able to catch it anyway. He's going to have to turn around. You can come in sometimes and maybe take a base hit away from guys like that.
Yeah, anything hit over your head in this parking left is either in the Crawford boxes,
right, or you're gonna turn around and play it off the wall. Let that wall be your friend.
swung on and missed.
Not a very good 2-0 swing there. You have that count in your favor. It looked like he was a little undecided. He wanted to swing or decided to hold it up, and not very good, but it's still a 2-1 count.
And again, the elevated fastball, 2-2. Rasmus at first with 1 out. 2-2 pitch upstairs. Full count. And down on strikes is Preston Tucker. That's 4 Ks for Trevor Bauer, and there are 2 down in the 4th inning. go out to Andre. Minute Maid Park certainly has its nuances for an outfielder, but new this year, something else to contend with up in the sky.
Absolutely. I know that Terry Francona and Michael Brantley talked about this yesterday. I don't know if this plays into why Jose Ramirez is playing so deep, but they have new LED lights. And when you play left field on low line drives, were the biggest concern for the left fielders yesterday. They can get caught up in there, and when you look into those lights, as we both all did yesterday, you can go blind quickly. So I know that's a worry for Jose out in left field.
Awfully bright looking up into him, no doubt about it.
It's almost like, you know, if you look into the sun real fast, you know, a bright sun, that's what it does to you. You've got to almost shade your eyes from that bank of lights if you get a fly ball in there. These new lights, though, the technology is amazing. They literally just flip a switch.
They go right
and
out.
the lights are on full power.
Yeah, it's like going inside a house. Turn on the switch.
Yeah.
Here they come.
Those of us who remember the old gymnasiums, we all played high school basketball, and remember you flip the switch and you have to wait around about 10-15 minutes before those things would actually power all the way up. But
Yeah, they got to warm up.
They're instant on, and they are bright. Tell me each individual ball will last around 15 years. The 1-2 pitch upstairs.
Jimenez wants to go out and talk to him. I got to take some time out and wish you, partner, a happy birthday today, deep in the heart of Texas, my friend.
Why, thank you.
Happy birthday. Andre says the same thing. Murph and the boys in the truck.
Well, Andre's wife Jen, it's her birthday today.
Oh, is that? Well, happy birthday,
Jen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We got it going all over the place.
May's a popular month.
It really is.
Up the middle. Cut off by Lindor. He'll flip it to Kipnis, and they'll get the inning-ending force. 4 complete from Houston. Indians 2, Astros nothing. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. By your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. And by the Cleveland Clinic. Access anytime, anywhere. Two 2-0 Cleveland. 5th inning. Lonnie Chisnall will lead it off for the Tribe. Lonnie doubled in a run in the 2nd inning. Puts it in there. 2 balls and a strike. Lonnie, then Chris Jimenez and Rajai Davis for the Tribe here in inning number 5. Well, the Indians have already ended a mini run for Houston. They held the Seattle Mariners to a run in their series finale. Held the Indians to a run last night. 4th time this year that they've been able to hold their opponents to 1 run or less. And they do it in back-to-back games. Pretty impressive. 4th strikeout for Chris Davinsky. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Monteribe, line went right back up the middle. Davinsky couldn't corral it, and Napoli scored on the play. Then Lonnie Chisenhall roped to double to right. That got 1 run home. The Indians had a chance to at least tack on 1 more, but couldn't get that run home from 3rd. So Chris Jimenez breaks his bat, bangs it up the middle, and it's through.
Well, there you go. You don't mind breaking the bat if that ball gets through for a base hit. Got enough of it out of the reach of Correa. So Chris gets his first hit number 5, but that bat's going down. Not much left to that one. But you don't mind. It ends on a base hit. Back to the top of the lineup for the 3rd time tonight.
Well, let's see what Rajai Davis can do here. He shoots one to deep right field. Back to Springer. Leaps it, makes the catch.
Wow, what a play. What a nice catch that was on the dead run over his head. That ball's going to slice back over that left shoulder when your back is to the wall. Davis really put a good swing on that ball, and you thought extra base hit, but Springer just outruns it. You see it's coming back to him, and on the dead run he makes a beautiful catch. That ball is still slicing on him right over his head. Makes the catch. Look at Rajai. Man, I don't blame you. He wants that double. That would have set things up nicely, but a good play defensively.
Well, I'm sure you've seen the same highlights that I have seen, and that is George Springer's a really athletic right fielder.
Yes, he is.
And if you're going to hit one that he doesn't catch, more times than not, it better be up in the seats somewhere.
Yeah, he can cover, he can run. As you say, he's athletic. He can jump around that fence. I think the catch you may be talking about last year was in Texas Stadium, when he went up over and saved a home run in that ballpark. It was a tremendous catch, but that's a tough catch for a right fielder. That ball slicing back on you, and you're on the dead run, and you've got to almost reach behind your head to catch it.
Well, he didn't catch a ball in that series finale here against Seattle, and he almost got to it somehow. It's the hardest ball, I think, to catch in this park. He was running to his right, to the alley, and where the fence stops, it juts up about another 4 feet, right in front of their bullpen.
Right.
He jumped maybe a fraction of a second too soon. Otherwise, he would have made that catch. I mean, he probably lost track of exactly where he was, because that angle is a little bit unique here. Seager for Seattle ended up with a triple on the play. Kipnis flies out to left. And we are halfway through with the Indians still leading it 2-0.
against the Minnesota Twins, and it's Friday, May 13th. It'll be the first Sugardale Dollar Dog Night of the season. You can enjoy Dollar Dogs all night long. $3 sodas, $4 12-ounce beers. Just go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Yeah, quick road trip here to Houston.
Oh, baby, love it.
Easy out for Napoli as he takes it himself, one away. Let's go back to the studios for an in-game update. Here's Al Pawlowski. Thanks, Al. There's Luis Valbuena, who flied out to center his only time up. Kansas City started the night a game below 500, while the Yankees dead last in the East, 6 games under 500.
Yeah, the Yankees want to keep it rolling. Kansas City's trying to stop that little fall at their end. Kansas City this year 6-11 on the road.
You know, it's true what they say when at the end of the year, nobody remembers who finished. You only remember who won it. You know, the Royals, they're the king. They get all the trimmings that come with it. People forget the Yankees were in the playoffs last year in that 1-game wild card deal against the Astros, and it was Houston who knocked them out and sent them packing. Dallas Keuchel shut them down. And
yes.
I think they had maybe 3 hits in that game. The Astros, a couple solo homers and won and moved on to the division series, and they had the Royals in trouble. There's Valbuena, does it again to a try. He's going to have an extra base hit here, it looks like, as he slides in safely with a 1-out double.
Well, I got to tell you, as deep as Ramirez is playing, that's why that's a double right there. And I know it was sliced down the line, but he was playing over toward left center field. But I mean, you'll see how deep he is. He just slices it that way. No big deal. But if you see where he's coming from,
he's on the warning track.
He was way too deep. You got to play in a little bit more and cut it off, and that could have been a single as opposed to a double.
Number 9 hitter Eric Kratz represents a tying run at the plate. In the division series last year, in Game 4, the Astros had Kansas City down 6-2 in the 8th inning.
Going to the 8th inning, remember that.
And the Royals scored, I don't know what they scored, 5-6 runs, whatever it was, and came back and won the game.
Yes,
and then
they did.
They won in the ultimate Game 5 and moved on to the ALCS. But it could have very well been Houston going to the ALCS last year.
Yes.
Instead, it was Kansas City, and of course, we know the rest of the story.
Hence, that's why they wanted to rebuild their bullpen, and they wanted to get some power arms down there because they had guys that, you know, they pitched to contact, so to speak.
Up the middle. Lindor's got it. He'll throw out Kratz, 2 down. Valbuena goes to 3rd on the play. Lindor can cover some ground. I tell you, off the bat, it almost looked like that ball might have been through. And the next thing you know, he's cutting it off easily. But with 2 down, Bauer's got a tough out on Jose Altuve. Now Altuve 1 for 2. He broke his bat, blooped one in his last time up. And Bauer just overpowered him. That pitch.
That cutter on the outside part of the plate. You watch this pitch. I mean, it's a beautiful pitch on the outside part of the plate. Altuve thought that ball may be coming back in a little. Nice 4-seamer. Goes from 90 to 95.
four-seamer, and he rode that one upstairs, but Altuve was trying to turn it around, couldn't do it.
Well, you elevate it, and you see it's above the belt, and that's awfully tough to catch up to at 95.
Swung out and missed. He got him with a breaking ball.
Great sequence by Bauer right there.
He is pumped up as he came off the mound. He knew how important that at-bat was right there. Keep the Astros off the board. 5 shutout frames for Bauer and the Indians. Game that you look back on when it's all over and say, boy, that was a key moment, and we might have just witnessed one. Our cricket, something to smile about. Bauer versus Altuve.
What a beautiful sequence there with the cutter away, a fastball up. He stayed upstairs and then follows that up with a breaking ball in the dirt, and that is something to smile about to end the inning right there and keep a 2-0 lead.
Francisco Lindor leading off here in the 6th. He's seen 18 pitches tonight. He has swung at 14 of them, and he's fouled most of them off. And Lindor has nothing to show for it. That first at bat was incredible. And this time he grounds one up the gut. Altuve with a left balance throw. Oh, sure he did.
Well, we're seeing some pretty good defense in this game. Altuve ranging to his right on the backhand side. He's just going to jump and throw. Get rid of it quickly, right on the money. Wow, nice play.
And that's one of those plays where maybe if you don't see the Astros a lot, you think, wow, that's an amazing play. He practices that. I mean, that's part of his normal repertoire.
Yeah, they're pretty good defensive club. They shift a lot, they move a lot, but boy, it seems like they're always making plays as well.
And Napoli comes up empty. 1-1.
You know, for a rookie, Chris Davinsky, he has settled in nicely. He's pitched a pretty nice game.
And there's a real good chance
again.
He may be back in the bullpen before long.
You're right. Maybe the next turn in the rotation.
But he has certainly given them something, Rick, to at least think about for down the road.
Well, he's opened some eyes, I'm sure. A.J. Hinch is sitting there watching this guy go at it. You know, when you go back and think about the second inning, when the Indians put 2 on the board, it was a ball off his glove that deflected just far enough away where Napoli could come in and beat the tag, and then the Chisenhall double, and that's been it. So, I mean, he's held his own out there. But there is no harm for a young kid to get a couple of spot starts. You can open some eyes. You're going to go with your guys with the great stuff. He can go back into the bullpen, maybe pick up a little more miles per hour on his fastball coming out of that bullpen and pitch and help him out. Feldman's the guy that went to the bullpen because he was struggling as a starter early in the year here for Houston. That's how this guy got the start 2 starts ago.
Boy, I mean, we've seen it in Cleveland. Starting pitching, when it's all lined up and it's working properly, it's a thing of beauty. One piece of the machine breaks down, though, and it's a domino effect. It can. Oh boy!
Yeah.
Did you see the reaction of Eric Kratz?
Yeah, I mean, and a couple of times it's happened today. Bauer thought he had a strike for strike 3. Watch this. This looked like a pretty darn good pitch. It came back in. Look at Kratz.
Napoli sends a skyscraper to left. Rasmus makes the catch, 2 down.
10,000 fans are going to receive a Carlos Carrasco jersey. That'll take place Tuesday, May 17th. The Indians will host the Cincinnati Reds. 2-game series. Come on out, see the 2 Ohio teams square off. We only played them about 8 times in spring training, so we'll get another look at them again. Just go to visit Indians.com for your tickets.
We ought to know him, huh?
We know him very well.
Things have not gone well for Cincinnati this year.
No, and you already mentioned they were postponed tonight.
Yeah.
They did beat Pittsburgh last night, though.
Glanced off the bat of Santana.
After that first at bat, he's had Santana in a little quandary up there. Last at bat he struck out, didn't have a very good swing, and he's in between, it looks like to me. That's a good pitch, though. Good pitch in there. That's the pitch that makes him effective. With the fall off, if he can hit with that fastball, the left-handers on the inside part of the plate, then he can go with that changeup down and away. There.
2-2. Chased it up high. And for the second time tonight, the Indians go 1-2-3.
Savings and access to Tribe Rewards. And today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Slider. No, that's Orbit. I said Slider. Visit Indians.com. Season tickets for complete details.
Three, Our 2-0 Indians as we go here to the bottom of the 6th. George Springer, Carlos Correa, and Colby Rasmus for the Astros. Trevor Bauer spinning a 3-hit shutout. He has struck out 5. He has walked a pair. Close pitch, but it's 3-1 now.
See a fastball. It's going to be just a little upstairs. Good. It's close, but not calling them. There's a lot of guys that are looking at pitches tonight behind that plate. Third walk for Trevor.
Carlos Correa will be the batter. He has 0 for 2 on the night. Yeah, he just poured a fastball over the outside corner. Wow, Lorenzo Cain just hit another home run.
Did he really? Third, huh?
First 3-homer game of his career, and he's tied the game up in the 8th inning off Andrew Miller.
Wow. Some kind of night.
Strike 3 called. 6th strikeout for Bauer, 1 down in the inning.
Well, he didn't mess around. He just went outside and painted. Watch Trevor tonight. He's had a very good fastball, and he hasn't been afraid to use it. And he's been above the belt with it. There's a little cutter, but there's a nice breaking ball to come off of it. But there's a fastball there. You know, it seems to me like he's throwing more fastballs now, and for whatever reason, he and Chris Gimenez, I notice that it seems like Bauer to me, Matt, is working a little quicker than he normally does. So that means that he's getting the sign and let's go. We heard Gimenez say he wants to simplify things, but a lot of that is easy. Let's go with a fastball and locate it.
Well, he's got a good fastball. And we've seen him tonight, you know, use variations of the fastball. Anywhere from 90 to 95, and Colby Rasmus swings and misses.
You know, you set that fastball up and you start going through the third time of the lineup, and you get those guys that throw the changeups and you have them out in front. Coming back with it. Look at that. Back-to-back changeups, back-to-back swings and misses. Followed this one up with the exact same. This one was lower, down at the knees, a little tougher to get to. Nice fastball.
Strike 3 called inside corner. He ran it right back inside, off the plate, and then over the inside corner.
I'll tell you what, he's putting a clinic on tonight. I'll tell you, that fastball comes back in. That's a perfect pitch. Boy, he's had a couple of sequences tonight that have been to die for, man. Look at him. He's locked in right now. He is really zoned in.
Well, Preston Tucker comes up here 0 for 2 on the night. We mentioned, we talked to Andre earlier about the relationship between Bauer and Chris Jimenez. And Andre, I mean, it can't be easy. You know, Chris, even though he's been in the Indians organization before, he's coming in here, he's trying to develop a relationship literally on the fly with Bauer.
He is, but he isn't. And I'll tell you why. In 2014, during the spring, he said he caught Bauer the entire spring. That has to play into why he's so comfortable with him, because we know Trevor, if he's not comfortable with you, he's just not going to agree with you, but he does with Chris.
I'll tell you what, he looks as comfortable as I've ever seen him in quite a while. He's working quicker for me, Andre. He's mixed up his pitches, and as that interview you did with Jimenez, let's simplify things. Why not? It looks pretty simple right now, and he's dealing.
A little bit low, 2-1.
Off his foot. Doesn't go that high for no reason. Looked like it was off his front foot.
Well, this is a huge inning for both teams, because when you look at the numbers, and I don't know that they're unique in this regard, but when Houston trails after 6, they're 0-17. Indians are 0-10. So, I mean, when this is the point of the game where you want to have the lead, because now you're getting into the bullpens after this.
And I think a lot of teams are like that. You know, your good teams may have a couple of wins after that.
It's hit pretty well, but not well enough. Rajay Davis makes the grab in center, and Trevor Bauer, 6 shutout innings tonight here at Minute Maid Park. He has fanned 7 Astros in the ballgame. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by Ford, built Ford tough. Two nothing in favor of the Indians. Jose Ramirez singled back in the 4th. Leading off here in the 7th.
Hit him.
Oh, did it get him on the elbow?
Yeah, I think it did.
Or the wrist.
Well, he's shaking the right arm wherever it hit him. It got him on the right arm, wrist, hand. And it looked like earlier he hurt a hand going into second base. Oh, you see, he tried to pull his elbow and it looked like it caught him on the hand or right at the wrist as he was pulling it in off the bat.
Got him on the wrist.
Yeah,
You're right.
Sure did. Now, when he was going into second base, he went head first. It looked like he hurt one of his hands sliding into second base head first. You know, isn't that funny? Usually he took the hand off the bat and came in and it hit it, as opposed to maybe just turning inside. He's going to stay out there. He's all right. He's in a little bit of pain, but check it. See, look at the hand, how early it comes off the bat. And he deflects it.
Drilled it right on the top of that hand. Nice,
that should have been his batting glove in that at bat. Put that on your top hand.
He's gonna have steel-fingered batting gloves.
Now you see, he wasn't wearing that when he went to slide on that base the first time.
Nope.
So he's wearing it now because I think he jammed that left hand in the base and hurt something on it. So now he's got both hands in a little bit of pain. That's why slide feet first.
Uribe fouling it back out of play.
Watch this. Watch the left hand going straight in, and watch the foot too. It hits the bag, then hits the foot of Altuve, and he overslides the base. And look at him shaking it right there. That was the left hand on the stolen base, and then just got hit on the right hand.
A little bit low. 1 and 2. Uribe and an RBI on that fielder's choice back in the second inning.
Taylor made
6-4-3 on the double play. Down to Andre. What's the latest on Michael Brantley?
Well, he's out tonight. Obviously, he's not going to play tomorrow. Then he'll have the day off on Thursday. The team hopes by Friday the shoulder will be better, but he's dealing with basically general soreness after he plays, and the shoulder's just not responding the way they want to. So as we watch Ramirez mess with his fingers and his hands, I know there's some people holding their breath right now in the dugout because he's going to be the left fielder when Brantley can't play for the most part.
Oh, that's got to be troubling, though, Rick. That just the fact that there's still soreness there, that it's not maybe where they want it to be or where Michael wants it to be.
Well, you never know until you go out there and play. You know, you don't know how it's going to react. You don't know how it's going to respond. If it doesn't bounce back, and it seems like that's what the problem is. He's getting out there to play, and it's just not responding to feel better. I don't know if you're playing him too much or you need more time off, or how you go about doing that. I guess only he could tell you.
There's Jose Ramirez, meanwhile, getting looked at. Lonnie Chisenhall takes a strike. And he draws a walk. 2 outs in the 7th. And that might be it. A.J. Hinch out of the dugout.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. You got the right-hander Jimenez, who did get a base hit even though he cracked his bat. But I'll tell you, the rookie Davinsky pitched a pretty good ball game tonight, going 6 2/3 innings, allowing just 5 hits and 2 runs, both runs coming in the second inning. So really a pretty good start for him.
Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. The Astros will bring on a new pitcher. Chris Davinsky departs. He gives up 2 in 6 2/3 innings. And it's a 2-0 Indians lead. We will be right back. Chris Jimenez the batter, and right-hander Pat Neshek coming on to face him. Neshek's got that sort of herky-jerky style. 13th appearance on the year. Worked 2/3 of an inning Friday night against Seattle. Slowly chopped to short. Correa will go to first. And that will end the inning. Stretch time, and Houston Indians 2, Astros 0.
Just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. The tickets are located in the family deck at Progressive Field and home to the expanded Kids Clubhouse. Go to Indians.com for your kids' tickets.
Trevor Bauer. He has spun dandy here tonight. Going into the 7th. Tyler White will lead it off, taking a strike.
Nice.
Quickly 0-2 the count. White walked in the 2nd. Hit into an inning-ending fielder's choice in the 4th inning. Pulls it to short. And Lindor on the run. A perfect strike to first. 1 away. Series wraps up tomorrow with a day game here in Houston. Our old pal Doug Fister. Boy, we faced him so many times over the years.
Yeah, with Detroit, Seattle.
Danny Salazar will go for the Indians with his 191 ERA. Indians Live starts our coverage at 1:30, first pitch at 2 right here on Sports Time Ohio.
Boy, Power he is locked in, folks. He is throwing strikes. He's getting ahead in the count. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he is doing it.
Lindor. 2 down. That's a pretty good game plan. Just make him hit it to the shortstop every time. When you got a guy who can catch it like him.
Let him put it in play. He's throwing strikes. He's getting some weak swings. You know, he started off, he's only walked 3. A couple of them come in the first 2 innings, but Power's always been a guy, it seems like as the game goes on, he gets a little bit stronger and stronger and stronger. And he's done that. He's found his rhythm, and he is throwing. This is the best game I've seen him pitch in quite a while. I don't know if it's this building or what, but he loves to pitch here.
5 assists for Lindor. That's the other thing too, Rick. A lot of ground ball outs. I guess I think of Trevor Bauer, and I think more fly ball out guy, but he's kept the ball on the ground tonight.
He's been strike 1. He's expanded their zone. He's thrown this 2-seam fastball. He's cut it. He's thrown the 4-seam fastball. He's moved it around. He's thrown the curveball, and it's very efficient right there. 100 pitches for Trevor, and you can see pretty darn good.
Right around 60% for strikes.
Yeah, he's 15 for 26 first pitch strikes.
Valbuena glared out at Bauer, and now he's hearing it from the Indians dugout.
Yeah, just get the batter's box and hit. He's not throwing at you.
Now Valbuena has to step out. Now he's hearing it from the home plate umpire.
Right.
You're not allowed to do this, essentially. And that's part of the whole pace of play rules, unless you get knocked out of your toe hold, which he did, but you're supposed to stay in the box. Three balls and a strike. Big Eric Kratz waits on deck. And he pulls it foul, full count. Fly ball, right field. And Lonnie Chisenhall will make the catch And that will end the inning. Trevor Bauer, 7 scoreless innings. Indians up 2-0. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Well, Bauer might still be in this ball game. He's just over 100 pitches on the night. He's been dominant. He's been in control. We know he's the kind of guy who can throw all day.
There's no reason why he shouldn't go back out. They haven't shaken his hand, so let's go. Mickey, just give him some knucks. Let's go. Yeah, they
like
shake
Brian
his hand.
Shaw is up in the Indians bullpen, but we'll wait and see. Here's Josh Fields coming on for Houston, 3rd pitcher of the night for the Astros. Top of the order for Cleveland. Two balls and a strike. You know, you think of all the close games the Indians have played this year. 12 games decided by 1 run, in which they've gone 5-7. Only one time have they had a game that was decided by 2 runs. They won that game. But if this one stays the way it is, it could be their 2nd of the year. Chased it up high. And Fields gets a strikeout, 1 away. Saturday, Central Division rivals collide when the Twins take on the Indians in a game you'll see only on FS1. Corey Kluber, Irvin Santana, the scheduled matchup. Action begins at 4 Eastern on FS1, or watch it live on on Fox Sports Show. That's this Saturday. Jason Kipnis looks at the pitch up high for ball one. Kipnis sends a drive deep center field. Back goes Gomez. Still going back. Can't make the play. It's in play though. As Kipnis hits second, he'll roll all the way to third with a one-out triple.
Wow, he drove that ball a long way. That almost got to Taos Hill out there in left center field, but it gets over the head of Gomez. He thought he was going to be able to track it down, and once it got over his head, Kipnis was going to be at third base, no doubt about it. Put his head down, and you can see it hit the track to flex off the wall, and there goes Kip. He's going to third, so boy, oh boy, they're going to have to bring the infield in, and a great opportunity to add on here for Kipnis, his first triple of the year.
Well, and Francisco Lindor will try to bring him home now. He's 0 for 3 on the night, 0 for 7 in the series. Roped, foul down the line. They didn't miss by much. That ball was hit hard. Tyler White might back up a step or two at first.
Yeah, well, they got to try and cut that and run off. I know what you're saying. Good curveball. Take him off the heater.
Lindor trying to get him home from third. Doesn't matter how. Chops it over the mound, and it's through. Lindor with an RBI single, bringing home Kipnis, who had tripled, and the Indians' lead is 3-0.
That's why when you're a hitter and you get a guy on third base and you have the infield in, you see it's just a matter of placement. He didn't hit that ball hard, gets it over the pitcher's head. Even if one of the middle infielders fielded that ball, they would not have been able to get Kipnis. It's a good breaking ball away. It goes right over Field's head at the mound. And Correa, if he cuts it off, you see Kipnis going to be able to come home anyway, unless it's hit right at one of the fielders. So they get that insurance run and makes it a 3-0 ball game.
Well, that was a huge hit by Jason Kipnis.
Yes, it was.
Now Mike Napoli gets one up and in. Two and 0. And that's called a strike, and I'm not so sure Mike Napoli is in agreement there, but it's 2-1.
Tough ball. It was sitting away, so it's tough to go over and try and frame that ball on the inside part when you're reaching across with their backhand to try and pull it back in.
That's why you probably don't see that pitch get called a strike a lot.
Right. You've got too far to go back. Feliz is up in the Houston bullpen.
Lindor has 5 steals on the year. He's only been caught once.
Let Napoli have a chance to swing here.
He swings hard, drives it deep to left, and it's high off the wall, and it comes by Rasmus. Lindor coming around third, he's going to be waved home. Rasmus up with the ball, he won't get him. Napoli's caught in a rundown, and he will be tagged out. But the Indians extend the lead to 4-0 on a ball that just missed, clearing the wall and left for a 2-run homer. Instead, Napoli settles for an RBI double.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll take it, gets it over the head of Rasmus, and then hit the wall and bounces past. That enabled Lindor to come score. Boy, he stayed back and tomahawked that hook right there. Curveball up and in, and it hit the top of the wall and comes back. And once it gets by him there, that enabled Lindor to score. But Napoli thought they were going to cut it and throw it home. They didn't. They cut it. He was rounded second, and he's a dead duck now. But it doesn't matter. You get the run home.
So 2 big insurance runs here in the 8th, making it a 4-0 Indians lead. Trevor Bauer's got to love that. I wonder, Rick, does that change Terry Francona's decision?
Well, if you've already told him you're out of the game, I don't know.
Well, no, I don't mean that. If he was thinking about staying with him, though,
I would have stayed with him.
Would he change his mind now that it's a 4-0 lead and he's had to sit and wait?
I don't think so. He's locked in. I wouldn't mind seeing him go back out there, to be honest, but I just don't know if they told him anything yet.
Kind of has the look of a guy that's been told his night's over.
Shaw still up there? Yeah, Shaw's still up throwing, so I bet his night's over.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a guy that's
locked in.
Yeah,
he's thinking about every pitch he just threw tonight.
Well, he was terrific.
He certainly was.
Santana sends one sky high, deep right. Springer's out of room, but makes the catch up against the wall. With no room left to spare, Santana almost shot one out of here. But the Indians tack on 2 and lead it 4-0, middle of the 8th. Indians on top, bottom of the 8th inning. And Trevor Bauer's night is over. He went 7, 3-hit shutout innings, walked 3, struck out 7. And the new pitcher is Brian Shaw, 15th appearance of the year. And Shaw will face Marwin Gonzalez, who will pinch hit to lead off the inning. And the top of the order, Jose Altuve and George Springer. But boy, how big are those 2 additional runs the Indians just scored. That changes the complexion of the game dramatically, because in a 2-run game, if you're Houston, all you need is 1 base runner, and you've got the tying run at the plate. And this is a park that has yielded a lot of home runs over the year. But now you need a big rally.
They couldn't have added on at a better time. What a start for Bauer tonight. He was fun to watch.
You know, it's easy to say this now after the fact, but it just felt like he was kind of building in this direction. I'm not saying that he was going to come out and, you know, throw a shutout tonight, but you just felt like he was starting to put some of the pieces in place to get himself back on track as a starter. Looked like it all came together for him here tonight. I mean, even that last start, you go back to the one in Philly, you know, it wasn't perfect, but it was getting there. You could see the signs.
I think he wants to prove to Tito and his staff that he belongs in the rotation, and that's to me is great. Go on out and earn it, prove it, and you'll stay in that rotation. Don't worry about it. And tonight he certainly proved it.
Marlon Gonzalez just fanned at that pitch. And it's 1-2.
For me, it's something that they've been trying to get Bauer to do for the last couple of years, is throw his fastball more. And it seems like he has.
The 1-2, and it's lined into center field. A base hit from Marlon Gonzalez. And the Astros keep their hopes alive here with a leadoff hit in the 8th. Promised earlier, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Watch the sequence here. Cutter away to Altuve. Man on third base. Up with the four-seam fastball. Went back up there and gets him to swing, and then dings the eye level. Go down and bounce one in the dirt for a hook. Strike 3. Wonderful sequence. Got out of the inning, and he was really locked in tonight. He had a few good sequences to some hitters.
Well, you knew how important that matchup was, because when he struck him out, he pumped his fist. He showed some emotion. He knew that was a key spot right there in a 2-0 game to keep them off the board. Don't give him any kind of hope right there.
Well, not an easy guy to strike out. That's only the 18th time he struck out this year. You know, that guy, he finds a way to get the barrel of the bat to the ball. That's a fair ball.
Fair. And Jimenez will throw him out at first.
That's right. It was a fair ball.
Gonzalez goes to second base on the play. I don't know if Altuve just lost track of where it was at, or if he was just kind of hoping it would stay foul.
Jimenez wanted to throw that ball to second base, but Gonzalez was able to get there. Watch, he comes out, and he wanted to throw it. Nobody was really there. He would have had to lead somebody to get there. Gonzalez continued to go, and then really the only play for Jimenez is, let me get the out at first base. See, he had to go and he had to wait because nobody was at second base, but it's a smart play. Get the out at first, man advances.
Hindsight being 20/20, the easiest play for Chris would have been to just simply
tag him,
lay back and tag him, and then maybe if you felt like you had a shot, throw down to second. But hey, you're up 4, you get the sure out, as you said. Move on from there. Two 2-0 for George Springer. 0 for 1. He's walked a couple of times. Gives him 4 walks in the first 2 games of the series. Out of play, right side. Yankees hung on and beat Kansas City tonight in the Big Apple. 10-7 the final there. Twins Orioles tied 3-3. I think they're in the 7th or 8th inning at Target Field. Popped up out of play to the right. White Sox and Rangers, I think they are back playing again. They were in a rain delay for quite a while down in Arlington. It's now 5-2 Chicago, middle of the third. White Sox just scored 4 runs in the 3rd inning. They are on a pretty good roll. Todd Frazier with 3 more runs batted in. There's a good pitch. Struck him out looking. 2 down here in the 8th.
What a nice little cutter. Cut started at the inside hip, and you'll see it's inside. That just stays right on the inside edge. It comes in a little bit to the inside corner. What a beautiful pitch. It locks Springer up. Man, that is out number 2.
Swing and a miss. Bounces and the runner holds at second base. Gonzalez, no real need to go to third there with 2 outs.
The crowd may want him to get there, but you know what? You can't. You're down 4 runs. You have to be 100% sure. You're right. You're still in scoring position. Can't make that out at third base with this guy at the plate.
Shaw's 1-1 pitch. And Correa grounds it to short. Lindor throws out. The rookie of the year, and the inning is over. We go to the 9th. Cleveland 4, Houston nothing. Altuve. It was only 2-0 at the time. They got a runner at third with 2 outs. Altuve gets a hit there, gets them on the board. They get some momentum going. Who knows how this game might have changed, but Bauer struck him out and basically dominated their lineup here tonight. And those 2 insurance runs just give the Indians a chance to kind of relax a little bit here. Now as we go to the 9th inning, Jose Ramirez leading it off. Ramirez in a physically taxing game for him. He's thrown out trying to steal, which it looked like his left hand banged into the spikes of Jose Altuve. And later in the game, he was hit by a pitch on the other hand on the right wrist. But he hasn't missed a minute of the ball game. Chased one, and he thought he got a piece of it, but it's a strikeout.
He might have got a piece of it, but it looked like he caught it before it hit the ground, and I saw the third base umpire give him a little help.
Oh,
you see?
He did.
He did tip it, but it went right into the glove. It didn't hit the ground, and he got help. Third base umpire Lance Barrett, he helped the home plate umpire.
It's a heck of a job of catching that foul tip.
Yeah, it really, I don't think he really knew it. It sort of deflected right into the glove, to be honest with you. But it's still, he had to hold on to it.
Oh, no, Uribe turned it loose, but he came up empty. Strike to the outside corner. Elevated fastball, second strikeout. Pat O'Brien play the game. The Kipnis triple with 1 out in the 8th inning that helped open up the scoring for the Indians.
And he hit that ball a long way. That was pretty much center field. Got it over the head of Gomez. He drove that ball. That's a good sign for Kip. That was his first triple of the year. Ends up coming in to score. Give him the 3rd run.
Phillies makes quick work of the Indians here in the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Astros when we come back. Recap brought to you by Mazda. Early energy. Indians scored first. Couple in the second inning. They're 13-4 when they score first. And Trevor Bauer kept them in the yard. And the Indians are on the verge of evening up this series. Bauer has been on a pretty good run. And of course, you know, here at Minute Maid Park, where last year he
6 innings.
Almost pitched a combined no-hitter.
Yeah, it was part of it. He pitched the first 6 with not allowing a hit. And today he pitched 6 2/3. So, excuse me, he pitched 7. But he'll turn it over to Cody Allen after Shaw came in and pitched the 8th. Gave up a hit, had a strikeout.
Back to the screen. Missed inside. Out of play. And Colby Rasmus fouling it straight back. Indians leading it 4-0 here in the 9th. Breaking ball in the dirt. Preston Tucker waits on deck, then Tyler White due up third. Here in the 9th inning for Houston. The Astros ran away with game 1. 7-1 last night. Tonight it's the Indians returning the favor. Cody Allen is just burying him inside.
Yeah, but he keeps finding a way to foul him off. And I don't even think those look like strikes, do they?
No. I mean, it's almost like, as you say, if you swing at it, there's no way you can keep it fair.
Yeah, it's impossible. To keep it fair, you'll shatter your bat and it'll go about 5 feet.
Swung out and missed. He got him with a breaking ball. And Cody Allen is 2 outs away from finishing this one off now for Cleveland. It's going to end the streak for Colby Rasmus. He had driven in a run in 5 straight games, the longest RBI streak of his career. But tonight, just 1 for 4 with 1 harmless single back in the 4th, has struck out twice. Now Preston Tucker 0 for 3. Breaking ball in for a strike. Able to lay off that one. That's 1-1. Too low with a heater.
Again, too low.
Swung on and missed. And a full count. Back to the screen. And Tucker is walked. And one out here in the ninth. Well, the Detroit Tigers played with fire tonight. They got singed, but not burnt. They walked Bryce Harper, and this time Ryan Zimmerman hit a 2-run homer.
Oh, he came back. Okay.
Zimmerman also hit another home run, closed the gap to 5-4, but they walked Harper again in the ninth, and Francisco Rodriguez struck out Zimmerman to get out of trouble. So 5-4 Detroit the final. That's a story that's going to continue.
Yes, I agree. Until Zimmerman starts to hit. Well, it sounds like he started a little bit tonight.
He might have found something, huh?
Well, he's too good of a hitter not to.
Fouled right back. Could be a wild one down in Texas tonight. Rangers get a 3-run homer. They've tied it at 5 in the 3rd inning against the White Sox.
Long night to go there. And hopefully the rain stays away. They already had a delay.
Yeah, long night's going to get longer.
Yes, it is.
Cody Allen deals, fouled right back by Tyler White, who was 0 for 2 with a walk on the night.
I'm looking at Tyler White. He looks like he's frustrated, feeling like he had a couple of pitches to hit there that he fouled straight back and didn't put it in play. He may see a curveball coming right here. There were high fastballs around the letter. Cody may start that curveball out at the letters and watch him break it off. Oh, he left it upstairs, but that's a double play ball.
Kipnis to Lindor to Napoli, and that'll do it here in the ninth. The Indians even the series at a game apiece by shutting out the Astros 4-0. Trevor Bauer with 7 brilliant innings tonight goes to 3-0 on the year.